A single strike on a school building in southern Iran has ignited a firestorm of global controversy and raised urgent, troubling questions. What exactly happened in the city of Minab, and who is ultimately responsible for this devastating attack? We're going to delve into the facts, analyze the evidence, and explore the far-reaching implications of this incident. On February 28th, amidst a backdrop of escalating tensions across the region, a powerful explosion rocked a school complex in Minab, a strategically important city in Iran's Hormozgan province. The timing was critical, coming at a moment when the entire Middle East was on high alert. The blast sent shockwaves, both literally and figuratively, through the community and far beyond. The initial reports were chaotic, filled with confusion and fear. As the dust began to settle, the true scale of the destruction started to emerge. Images and videos from the scene painted a grim picture of shattered windows, collapsed walls, and debris scattered across what was once a place of learning. Emergency response teams were on the scene almost immediately. Firefighters, paramedics, and rescue workers swarmed the area, navigating the rubble to search for survivors and assess the damage. Their swift action was crucial in the initial hours, a testament to their training and dedication in the face of a crisis. Simultaneously, local authorities sealed off the site and launched a full-scale investigation. The primary objectives were clear: to secure the area, collect evidence, and begin the painstaking process of piecing together the sequence of events that led to the explosion. This wasn't just a local incident. It was an event with international ramifications, and the pressure to find answers was immense from the very beginning. Within hours, the strike on the Minab school complex became one of the most widely reported and hotly debated events in the ongoing regional conflict. International news outlets picked up the story, and it quickly went viral on social media platforms. The image of a damaged school became a powerful symbol, sparking outrage and condemnation from various governments and humanitarian organizations around the world. The incident tapped into a deep-seated fear about the safety of civilians, especially children, caught in the crossfire of modern warfare. The narrative was no longer just about military strategy or geopolitical maneuvering. It was about human cost, and the world was demanding accountability. As investigators began their work at the blast site, their focus turned to the physical evidence. Early analysis of the debris and the impact crater pointed towards a sophisticated weapon. Experts started to suggest that the strike may have involved a long-range cruise missile, a type of precision-guided munition capable of traveling hundreds of miles to its target. This preliminary assessment was based on the size and shape of the fragments recovered from the scene. Forensic teams began the meticulous task of comparing this debris with known missile systems from various international arsenals. Every piece of metal, every circuit board, every fragment could hold a clue to the weapon's origin. This process is like a high-stakes puzzle, where each piece is vital to revealing the full picture of the attack. The political fallout was immediate and intense. Iranian officials were quick to point the finger, publicly blaming foreign military forces for the strike. They framed the attack as a deliberate act of aggression, accusing outside powers of targeting civilian infrastructure in an attempt to destabilize the country and sow fear among its population. High-ranking government and military leaders issued strong statements, vowing retaliation and promising to hold the perpetrators accountable on the international stage. This narrative of foreign aggression was broadcast widely through state-controlled media, galvanizing public opinion and reinforcing a sense of national unity in the face of an external threat. Meanwhile, in Washington, the response was more measured. Officials confirmed they were aware of the reports and stated that the incident was under review. They emphasized that investigations were ongoing and cautioned against jumping to conclusions. The official line from the Pentagon and the State Department was one of due diligence, stressing the importance of a thorough and impartial investigation to determine the facts. This cautious approach highlighted the delicate diplomatic situation. Any admission or denial of involvement carried significant risks, with the potential to either escalate or de-escalate an already volatile situation. The world's two major adversaries were locked in a war of words, with the truth about the Minab strike hanging in the balance. The timing of this attack could not have been more precarious. It occurred during one of the most tense and unpredictable moments in the recent history of the conflict. For weeks, the region had been on a knife's edge, with a series of provocations and counter-provocations from all sides. Naval forces were on high alert in the Persian Gulf, and military assets were repositioned throughout the Middle East. The strike on the Minab school acted as a potential trigger, raising legitimate fears that the situation could spiral out of control. Military analysts and diplomats warned of the risk of miscalculation, where a single incident could lead to a wider, more devastating war. The attack wasn't just a tragedy, it was a potential flashpoint for a much larger confrontation. Back at the site of the explosion, the search for definitive answers continues. Investigators are still meticulously sifting through the evidence, analyzing satellite imagery, and examining electronic intelligence. The process is slow and methodical. They need to determine the exact trajectory of the projectile, identify its unique technical signature, and trace its path back to the launch point. Was it fired from a warship at sea, a submarine, a ground-based launcher, or an aircraft? Who gave the order? And crucially, was the school the intended target, or was this a catastrophic error? These are the questions that investigators are grappling with, knowing that their findings could have profound consequences for regional and global security. The human element of this story cannot be overlooked. For the community in Minab, the attack has left a deep and lasting scar. Families have been affected, and the sense of safety and normalcy has been shattered. The school, once a symbol of hope and future potential, now stands as a monument to the brutal realities of conflict. International aid organizations have called for unrestricted access to the area to provide support to those affected and have reiterated their calls for all parties in the conflict to respect international humanitarian law, which explicitly protects schools and other civilian sites. The recovery process will be long, not just in rebuilding the physical structures, but in healing the psychological wounds of a community traumatized by violence. So, where do we go from here? The investigation into the Minab school strike is at a critical juncture. The evidence is being analyzed, the political rhetoric is intensifying, and the world is watching with bated breath. The search for truth is competing with political agendas and the fog of war. For now, one thing is absolutely certain: the strike on the school has become a pivotal moment. The answers that investigators uncover in the coming days and weeks will not only determine who is held responsible, but will also shape the future course of this dangerous conflict. The world is waiting, hoping for clarity, and demanding justice. Thank you for watching this in-depth report. The situation is constantly evolving, so make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated. As we continue to follow this story, we are committed to bringing you the facts as they emerge. Your support helps us continue our mission of providing clear, unbiased analysis on the most important global events. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.